Okay, so the last foundation review I did for mature skin was MURAD Soft Fluid Long Wear Foundation, which is absolutely beautiful. I love it. It was a new product for me and I have been using it since. It's very expensive though. So the foundation I'm going to use today is the Clarins True Radiance. So the MURAD was in Australia is $200, Clarins is $50. Now I have worn this before quite a few times. It's about half empty. Now it does offer a medium coverage that can be built up to full coverage. It's got an SPF of 15 in it, which is great. Now it does have a natural finish with a touch of dewiness in it. It is slightly heavier than a tinted moisturiser, but it's not heavy at all. It's very, very light to put on. So it's good for dry, mature skin. Now because I do have an oily T-zone, I'm going to put my usual primers on. So my MURAD Oil Control Mattifier down my T-zone where I get oily. And then I'm going to still use my Tarte Clean Slate, which is for minimising pores. So you fill in your pores with this little baby, which is great, helps me heaps. So I'll go ahead and do that. So I'll pop my MURAD on first. So if you do have oily skin, I found through vast trial and error that this is the best for me for controlling oil. So I just put it on the T-zone there where I actually do get oily. And then I'll go in with the Tarte Clean Slate. So it's a very thick sort of product. Place it on where your pores are. And you will have seen this on my channel before. So you want to push that into the skin, into those lines that I've got around the mouth there. A little bit on my nose. And definitely into these wrinkles there. So just pushing that in. So I'll pop this on today with my Delium Tools 957. Now this is fairly dense, but it's very soft and you can stipple with it as well. Now I'm using colour Amber. Now I don't have, it's winter in Australia on the Gold Coast, so I don't have a tan, so this colour is quite good for winter for me. So you can see immediately that that's covered up and evened out my skin tone already with just a couple of little pats on the skin. So I've got a lot of pigmentation over this side, so if I pat that in, it's almost full colour coverage for me. So once again, not going right up underneath my eyes. I'll pop a corrector on underneath there later on. Now I've already done put the base colour down for my eyebrows, but I find going in later on and actually finishing my eyebrows is best. So if you're going to be putting foundation on, you want it to butt right up to the eyebrows there, so you do mess with the eyebrows a little. So I find just putting that base on first, which is, I've used a pencil. And don't forget to pat around these areas where your pores are, so you're not swiping the product away. So that's really evened out my skin tone. It does look natural. I wouldn't say it's particularly dewy and luminous, but it is a very natural finish. So don't forget to blend right up to your ears there and down onto your neck. So I'm going in now as usual with my Becca Under Eye Brightening Corrector, and I'm popping this on a Morphe E20. So I'll just pop a little bit of this underneath my eyes and up into the corner there. Now I don't pack a heap of this on, I just put a little bit under there to actually even out the skin tone, take away a little bit of that blueness. And right down the sides of my nose I go though. You can see immediately how much that's brightened underneath my eyes. It's not cakey, it doesn't settle into those fine lines underneath there. I go back in with my foundation brush and just stipple over the edges there so there's no demarcation line. So I'm going in now with a little bit of highlight, so I'm using Atelier Paris in Clear Pink. It's a concealer, it's very light. So I want to go above those lines that I have there and pop a little bit up there, down my nose, the Cupid's bow, and just a little bit on my chin there. So I'm going back in with the Zoeva 110 face brush, and then once again blend the edges with your foundation brush. So I'm just going to pop a little bit of powder on those areas that do tend to get oily. This is what I ordinarily do with any foundation I use. So I'm using today the RCMA No Colour Powder, tiny little bit into the lid, and just on, like I said, on those spots that tend to get a little bit oily. So today I'm using Giorgio Armani Maestro Liquid Summer Bronzer. Now this is in the colour 90. So I'm popping this on my MAC brush. The number's worn off, but I'll pop that in the description bar for you. But it's a cute little stippling brush. It's small enough to sort of get into the contour areas of your face and blend. So just a couple of drops of that on the brush. So don't go crazy to start with, just basically stipple it where you want it. Just around the perimeter of my face. So I'm not contouring as such, I'm just adding a little bit of depth. So then I'll go back in and blend that. And try and keep it in that area that you place it. So don't go too low, stay just below the cheekbones there and to the outer corner of your eye. Blend that up. Now the cream products I find as I'm getting older just help with just not looking so matte. Then go in with a bigger brush. This is a Sigma F50 Jouer Fiber. So it's a lot more sparse bristles on the ends there where you can actually blend that just a little bit better and blend the edges out so you don't have stripes on the side of your face. Just going to pop a little bit underneath the chin there. It doesn't really alleviate having two chins, but it helps a little. And then blend that again. I think as you get older, more mature, your face makeup really needs to be blended quite well. I'm going to use today Too Faced absolutely gorgeous little package, Perfect Flush Blush in Peach Beach. I'm just going to use this side here, which is a little bit just more apricot-y colour. Now it does have a tiny bit of glow to it, not a shimmer, just a tiny bit of glow. So just a little bit on the apples of your cheeks. And don't go smiling, because when you actually stop smiling, everything will just go down south. So just keep your face as you ordinarily would, and then just blend that up into your bronzer. So I always like to lighten around the nose area there, Cupid's bow a little bit more, and around my lips. And then I'll go in with my Beauty Blender, a little bit of Fix Plus or some setting spray. Not too damp, not too wet, I'll just take it straight off. And then just blend in around that area. And then lastly for my complexion, I'm going in with Jouer's highlighter in Champagne. So this is just a beautiful beige, goldy sort of colour, but it's not too intense for a mature face. So just above that blush, you can bring it in a little bit if you haven't got too many pores or wrinkles just in that section there. You can bring it in a little bit more onto your face, and then just up above the cheekbone there. So just patting it into that blush as well. I do like a little bit above my lips there, tiny bit on the end of my nose and just down the bridge there. And try not to swipe it, you'll take off that makeup that we've already put on. Okay, so I just went in and popped a little bit of powder on my eyebrows. Now I can go back after I finished all the makeup around my eyebrows. So I've used Anastasia's Powder Duo in Blondie. So you can't tell really by looking at that on camera, but one side is a lot lighter than the other. So use the lighter colour basically towards the beginning of your brow. And just follow where you've put the product with your pencil. And then of course don't forget to brush them out. Okay, so onto the eyes. So I'm priming today with Bare Minerals 5-in-1. So just across your eyes. So I'll just blend that in with Zoeva's Concealer Buffer Brush. So you can basically leave this on your eyes for the day. I mean, it really doesn't crease. As long as you don't put too much product on, you won't get any creasing with this. So I'm using this as my base for the rest of my eyeshadow. Now I'm only going to set above where my crease is going to be today. Now with my hooded eyes, my crease is very, very low, so I normally put my crease up here, basically where the hood ends and the eyelid starts, in that crease there. So I'm only going to set that area because I'm going to be using a cream shadow on the lid. So I'll set that with the colour that I'm going to be using in the transition area, which is Anastasia Beverly Hills Custard, just a very light nude natural colour. Okay, so on the lid I'm going to be using my Giorgio Armani eye tint in nude. Absolutely love this. You don't need to set this product either. I'm just going to let that dry, and then I'll just go in with a little bit more of a crease colour just to give a little bit of dimension there on the outer corner. So I'll let that dry and I'll be back. Okay, so I'm going into the crease area, or above my natural crease area, just to put a little bit of demarcation in there and a little bit of dimension. So I'm going to use the Huda Beauty Rose Gold Textured Palette. This is the original one. And I'm going to use the colour Sandalwood on the bottom there. Now I'm not going too deep with this colour, it's just a natural look. So I just want to basically create a little bit of dimension. So I just want to add a little bit of lightness on the waterline, so I'm using my NARS Rue Bonaparte. Just to lighten up and open up the eyes just a little. So I'll pop some mascara on, so I'm using my MAC Extended Play Giga Black Lash. Now you can leave that there with mascara and just a nude lip for the daytime. Or if you're going from the office out at night, then you can pop some lashes on and then do a darker lip, which I'll do for you in a second. Okay, so that's Too Faced Melted Sugar. So that's a matte product, so if you're not into mattes, or if you've got lines on your lips like I have and you don't want to actually be able to see them too much, I pop a gloss over the top. So I'm using my Tom Ford Lip Lacquer, just in the very centre. I'm going to go back and pop a little bit more of that highlighter just on the Cupid's bow. Don't go crazy. I've got lines around my lips there, so I basically want to pop it just in the centre away from those lines. Okay, so I'll pop some lashes on and then I'll do a darker lip for you as well, so you can see how this can go basically from a natural daytime look to nighttime without doing anything to your eyes other than popping the lashes on. And I'll be back. Okay, so I've popped some lashes on. Now, because I have hooded eyes, I do like to use at night time. I don't usually use lashes during the day, but at night time I use these at the moment, which are Ardell Accent 301 Black. So they're just the outer corner lash. So I went in and put some lip liner on. This is the MAC Stone, and I've used the Dose of Colours in Knock on Wood. And I've decided to just pop a little bit of shimmer in the inner corner for nighttime. Why not? So this is Makeup Geek Starry Eyed, just on a a very small pencil brush and just in the very corner. Okay, so let me know what you think about the foundation. That hasn't budged really for that time that I've been putting on that makeup. It hasn't moved, it hasn't really settled into any fine lines. I mean, it's just as good to me as the La Mer, and it's a quarter of the price. In Australia, I mentioned it's $50 as opposed to La Mer's $200. Definitely La Mer is an absolutely beautiful foundation. I would wear it for special occasions at night time. This is good for a daytime. Like I said, it's not luminous, it's not matte, it's a really natural finish and I do like it. So let me know what you think in the comments below. And if you enjoyed my video, don't forget to like, comment, share and subscribe. Keep being the best version of you, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!